Today we're going to talk about the forehand and how to defend. So if you get jammed a lot on your forehand side, I'm going to take you through how to not get jammed up and play a little bit more comfortable there, so we're not catching the balls up like this or reaching or something. So if you've seen my previous videos, I talked about how the forehand side is a weakness. I'm not talking about the forehand in general, I'm talking about the side. So if you didn't catch that previously, I was talking about how on this side, and the Australian Open too, it's the side that breaks down more often. You see players going up like this a lot and getting jammed, as opposed to the ad side. On the ad side of the court, what happens? Well, on the ad side of the court, excuse me, they run around the ball and they get their body weight going into the shot, right? So that's why they're more dangerous off the forehand from this corner than from this corner out here, because here the ball is going away from them and they tend to get stuck on that outside leg a little bit more. And I made a video actually about Ben Shelton, and that's one of his weaknesses. He has to get a little bit quicker and get on his front foot. So that's going to be the key, is choosing the right stance in the right moment. And I hit on that in my last stance video as well. So defending over here, ideally I want to hit a neutral stance. Okay, I don't want to go open. If I go too much on this outside leg too often, it means I'm probably reaching for the ball and letting the ball drop. And that's why I'm usually off balance. So I'm only going to use the outside leg when I do this and I'm getting dragged out wide and I'm a little bit late to it. Because even then, when I do this outside leg motion, sorry, my videos too, I just got to say this, my videos sort of like build on top of each other, just like my tennis classes. So if you missed a video, you have to sort of go check back on that lesson if this isn't making sense to you. If you already know this, then you could sort of follow along. But I talk about how you need to do your outside leg and a side shuffle to stop when you're exploding out wide. And that's usually when the open stance is used, either when someone's hitting really fast and I don't have time, and at the club level that doesn't usually happen, or when I'm out here, I have to make a full run, hit the shot, and then recover back very quickly, right? So I don't have time to step into the ball. So the key is, if you have time, we have to step into the ball, okay? And that's what neutral stance is for. Neutral stance is where I can rotate, my right leg's a little bit more out, and I can get my body weight into the shot. So anything out in the doubles alley, we want to use this footwork to hit the ball, ideally at the apex, the open. Over here, we want more of the neutral, and towards the middle, I'm cool with neutral stance or closed stance on a short ball where I can step into it. All right, that's how I defend off the forehand side in general terms. Now, another thing I want to talk about is a little bit of the recovery, which is also going to help you defend on that side. So if you're familiar with percentage tennis, when I hit cross court, I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to recover a little bit cross court, right? When I go down the line, I'm going to recover cross court. Well, that recovery just isn't to cover the next ball and get back in the middle of the court per se. That recovery is used so that you can hit the next ball with the ideal footwork. And I'll show you what I mean here. So when I go out, and if I come out and I hit a forehand over here, let's say I have plenty of time, I get on my front foot so I can hurt them. Now I'm going to recover back here. And the reason I'm going to recover back here is, one, like I talked about percentage tennis, I want to take away the angle, the high percentage shot. But two, what I want to do is, then if they hit me more out wide, what can I do? Now I can move out here and do my open stance and always stay in motion. I'm always moving my feet. Or if they hit a little bit shorter where I can close off on it, now I can step in and use my neutral stance and take it up the line or cross court. So I'm always moving my feet. When I see people get jammed, I think of people hitting up the middle of the court. So when you hit up in the middle of the court in a warm-up and you're hitting straight to them, the chance of getting jammed is more because we're just standing here, right? The more advanced players are going to move either to one side or a little bit more to the other side of the ball. But generally when you see 3-5, 4-0s play, they're hitting here and then all of a sudden there's a deep one and they didn't move out of the way. So by recovering correctly with percentage tennis as well, that's going to make sure that I'm doing more footwork and my body's staying in motion to hit. And I know that's a very abstract, kind of a complex thing to understand. I think it's kind of hard to teach you know, especially as I'm just saying it out here. I really don't have an example, but I did play a match yesterday. I won my first flex match, 1 and 2. I wasn't able to get footage. One of these guys hopefully will allow me to. I have to have them sign it, especially if I put it out there on YouTube. But I'll show it in my videos as well of why I'm recovering and then what stance I'm using. But that's why if you look at Jannik Sinner, and Novak Djokovic, those guys are so good at getting on their front foot, and they get on their front foot more often than all the other players, right? That's why they hit so well and so clean, and they're at the top of the game, because they're not using open. They only use open when they have to. But they're stepping in, which means they're already reading the ball, they're cutting off the angle, and if you're stepping into the ball, you're more dangerous, because if I can step into the ball, I can go here, right? If I'm doing this on a dead run, a lot of times it's going to go back towards the middle or out wide, because if I'm out in the doubles alley over here, what's my angle down the line? It's going to go exactly where it went. Even if I go down the line, it's going to pull towards the middle, right? So that's a quick little lesson on how to defend your forehand side so it becomes more effective. It's just choosing the right stance. And then the next video, I had someone comment on the one-handed backhand and the footwork involving that and how to improve your one-handed backhand. So that will be the next video. All right. Till next time, guys.